All right, boys and girls, be a good time to mosey on down to the lake. Right. Next up, wow. Look at all this pristine beauty. Ah, so wonderful living here in Florida. And with that being said, it must be time for Florida Grown. It's such a beautiful day. Let's check out some local stories, shall we? So lucky. Hello everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Welcome back to the channel. It is just a spectacular day out, and I thought it'd be a good time to mosey on down to the lake and do some filming over here today. I know it's been a while since I brought you guys down here. This is Studio D. Man, my production facility is really growing by leaps and bounds. Welcome to Studio D, our outside lakeside studio. Today, we will get right into it. Our Florida Grown stories are pretty good. Our first one, it's a bit embarrassing, of course, comes from my county again, Pasco County. Actually a neighborhood right next door to mine, a place called Wesley Chapel. You see, since we have so many school shootings, sadly enough, here in my home state, we have decided to put a resource officer in every single school to protect the children. Well, today's story is a bit disappointing. It's about Corporal Cross,
do anything to scare your children. That's
who is actually no longer employed by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office because of this particular incident. You see, Corporal Cross had a bad habit of fidgeting with his gun all the time. And Corporal Cross was a school resource officer. See where this is going? Not good. Corporal Cross was in the lunchroom monitoring the children, but insisted to continually fidget with his gun. In the holster, out of the holster, in the holster. Not sure why you would even do that remotely, especially around a room full of children. You know, come on, man. Use some damn common sense, deputy. So you fidget with your gun, do that shit at home. I play with my gun in the house all the time. Drives Rini absolutely crazy. A, it's never loaded, and B, she's never in the room when I do it usually. But damn, in the cafeteria, where it's just hundreds of kids running around? Well, Corporal Cross spent so much time fidgeting with his firearm that when he went to put it away, you guessed it, it went off. That's right, Corporal Cross shot himself in the foot. How Barney Fife? Thank God it wasn't one of the students. But, I mean, unacceptable behavior. This is why Corporal Cross had to be let go. And I give the Pasco County Sheriff, who happens to be a very good friend of Rini, big props for just not even waiting. There was a quick investigation. He admitted to what he did. It was obvious. There were about several hundred witnesses, children and staff alike. And so, you know, the corporal is very lucky he is not being charged with anything, because he could come up on charges of reckless endangerment, endangering the lives of a minor. But since he was fired, they just let him go. So, you know, only here in Florida, right? Let me know in those comments down below. Do your police officers play with their guns in the street? Do they go to where the school and there's children or hospitals and holster on holster the thing? I couldn't understand what he was doing, but that's Florida Grown for you. Let's see what we got next. Can it be that good? It can't be that good. Oh yeah, it can even be better. All right. Next up on the calendar, woman shoots boyfriend over snoring loudly. I know, man. Only here in Florida, right? I mean, we all have a partner that may snore from time to time. maybe a little loud even. I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed when it's me. I don't even like to fall asleep on a train where there's other people because, man, I can really thunder up the room. But evidently, a Brevard County woman faces charges for shooting her boyfriend after an argument about his snoring. Yeah, we're pretty loosely tied together here in Florida, as you can see. 47-year-old Lorraine Moran, or Moran, not quite sure the pronunciation, was taken into custody this week after deputies had to come out because of reports of a shooting. That's right. Evidently, the neighbors heard a domestic squabble between Lorraine and her boyfriend. Got kind of escalated, pretty loud. Next thing the neighbors know, they hear gunfire. A single shot. Kind of disturbing. I mean, you hear a lot of gunshots here in Florida. It's pretty liberal when it comes to shooting in your backyard and stuff like that, if you live in the country like I do. But a single gunshot kind of gets your attention. Usually you'll hear one and then followed by another random one or two later on, but when you hear just one and a whole bunch of time passes, yeah, that's usually the indication that someone's been shot. So, being the law-abiding citizens their neighbors were, they contacted the deputy's office. They sent the squad car out to see what happened. Upon arrival, they found Lori, or Lorraine, and her boyfriend, who was trying to bandage a wound, saying nothing happened. Even he said, no foul, no cause for alarm. Everybody can go back to what they were doing. Even though he had a bullet in him, and he was going to be taken to the hospital. Thank God she shot him in the leg. Maybe she knows the law. You shoot somebody below the knee in the United States, that's not a felony. That's not, well, I should take that back. It's a felony aggravated assault, but it's not attempted murder if it's below the knee. Just a little heads up knowledge if you live here in the States. You gotta shoot somebody and you don't want to kill them, get them below the knee, you won't have to go to jail for that long. Still going, but there'll be no murder or any talk of murder charges of any type. Well, anyway, the sheriff's office, doing their job diligently, had to arrest Lori and take her into custody while they transported her boyfriend to the hospital. Happy to say he survived, no permanent injuries. He was quite upset, refuses to press charges against her. That's love. When your old lady can shoot you and you won't press charges, much like me and Rini, I would never press charges. She can shoot me, she has stabbed me in the past, and I mean, it's what you call real love, man. You can't put your ghetto girl in the can just for shooting you. That'd be crazy. Where you gonna find love like that? You're never gonna. But let me know, would you press charges against your significant other if they shot you? Like I said, I couldn't, I never would. But I can see why you may want to if you don't have the kind of relationship me and Rini got. But let me know, what'd you think? Crazy enough Florida story? Shot him over snoring, man, nothing else. But if you thought that one was interesting, we still have one more gem to share with you. Let's check that one out. All right, boys and girls, I have one more story for everybody. This one's pretty funny. It appears one of my neighbors, a Mr. Thomas Devaney Lane. The crazy ones always seem to have three names here in the South. Don't know why, just always comes out that way. John Wayne Gacy, there's a few of them. But today we're talking about Thomas Devaney Lane. 61 years old, was arrested and jailed for disturbing the peace. Now you may say to yourself, Andrew, disturbing the peace, not really a Florida grown type story. We got plenty of disturbing the peace where I live. whether it be Sri Lanka or Michigan, California, Ireland, Vietnam. I mean, disturbing the peace is nothing at all that would be considered unique to Florida. Well, maybe ours is a little different than yours. Because you see, my buddy Thomas, he decided he was going to go on a run amok one night. He went to restaurants. He went to 3 different restaurants, actually. Don't know why or what set him off, but for some reason, he visited each of these restaurants and began a horrible rant with the owners. Not quite sure of that either. What was his rant about? What his problem possibly was? But it was enough for Thomas to let them know that if they didn't take him seriously and heed his warning, that he would have to unleash his turtle army on them. Oh, think maybe you didn't hear me right? Oh yes you did, if you heard turtle army. That's correct. Mr. Devaney says he possesses a very large, very vicious turtle army that he is going to unleash on the owners of these businesses unless they conform to what he wanted. Unless they gave in to his demands, he would have to unleash the incredible destructive power of his turtle army. Well, upon arriving at the local 7-Eleven is, I believe, where he decided he was going to stage his attacks from, the local sheriff's office caught up to him, sitting in his car, I guess contemplating his attack plan, and asked him if that was true. Had he been visiting restaurants in the area and threatening violence against them? I know. We're crazy. We're as crazy as the people here. You know, you would think that no one would take his threats that serious, but I guess in today's modern climate of terror and fear, that even the mention of a turtle army attacking you would be enough for you to warrant calling the police and bringing them in. Well, of course, Mr. Devaney, not afraid of any police or any man of any kind. I mean, shit, would you be? You have a turtle army at your disposal. Let the police know that they best not mess with him, that he is not one to be taken lightly, and that if they knew what was good for them, that they would back off on their inquiry and step away from the car, because he would also have to unleash his turtle army of destruction on them and wipe them off the face of the earth. Well, unfortunately for Thomas, I mean, Mr. Devaney, our police here have zero sense of humor. They took his threat as a threat upon a law enforcement officer and proceeded to arrest Thomas. You may notice something in today's stories. They all seem to hover around the police arresting people. That happens a lot in Florida grown. You can only push the crazies so far before the crazy government gets involved. But thank God they were there to step in and save us from the turtle apocalypse that could have happened if Thomas decided to unleash his army on them. The guy's 61. It's obvious, not playing with a full deck. I don't know if arresting him was the best thing. Here in Florida, we have a thing called Baker Act. It's where we can have you placed under observation, psychological observation, to make sure you don't hurt yourself or others for 72 hours. I believe that would have been the right course of action. I don't really think Thomas's threats could have been acted upon. But, hey, I ain't the law. I only follow them because I don't want to wind up like our good friends here on all 3 stories. I enjoy my freedom a bit too much. But hey, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Crazy enough Florida stories for you? I'm working on some real good ones for next week. But which one was your favorite? Turtle attack I kind of like that one a lot myself, you know? Who doesn't enjoy threats of violence by the animal kingdom? Deputies fires a gun, shoots himself in the butt. I mean, Barney Fife, that's a real good one. You may like that. I mean, got all the best elements to it. And of course, there's nothing better, I think, than woman shooting her boyfriend for snoring too loud. I mean, really? Come on. But the best part of that is that's a love story, right? When is the threat of being shot and actually being shot ever a love story? Well, it is this time, because he wouldn't press charges and he admits maybe he was snoring too loud, huh? What a guy. 2 thumbs up for you, buddy. You have my respect. You let your old lady shoot you and you admitted you were wrong. Damn, you must have been married a long time like me. But that's how it goes here in Florida. Y'all know how we do it. Definitely comment, like, give me those 2 thumbs up. I mean, deputy shoots himself? Come on, it's worth a thumbs up. Subscribe. Closing in on 3,500, folks. Just past 3,200. Man, guys, you don't know when to stop. I love you for it. Love ya. See everybody in the next one. That's real love. Shot and won't press charges. Can you join that club? I know I can.